Charlie, you poor old goat. I'm gonna miss you, kid.
Beg your pardon, sir.
I'm sorry, but the services are over. Everybody's been and gone.
Excuse me, sir, but I encountered this young lady on the highway.
My friend, you and your friend...
She's not my friend, but she was... That is to say, she was undressed, and I gave her my coat.
You want the Malibu Motel?
No, it's nothing like that. I'm on my way to Santa Barbara, a rather important dinner, my mother's birthday, and I'm late already, but she asked me to bring her here.
Here? Well, why on earth here? I never saw her before in my life.
She didn't exactly ask, but when she saw the house, your house, well, she made me stop and bring her in. So if you don't mind, I'll be on my way and you can take over.
There's nothing to scream about. Everything's fine. It's all right. Everything's all right. You're safe. Be calm. Just... For a little girl, you have the lungs of a deep-sea diver. What was it, a nightmare? Huh?
George, don't you know me?
Yeah, I know you. You don't know you. That's your problem.
George, look at me.
Will you please go to sleep?
George, it's Charlie. It's Charlie Sorrell.
Now,
I'm Charlie Sorrell.
Okay, miss. Okay. Anything you say. Anything at all. But will you please go to sleep before I hit you over the head with this lamp? Oh.
George, I don't understand this any more than you.
Oh,
but I'm Charlie Sorrell. It suddenly came to me in my sleep.
Sleep, thanks.
George, wake up, George, please. George, I'm your best friend, Charlie Sorrell.
Because it's first thing in the morning. Good night.
George, it's true. Leo Satori caught me making a pass at Rusty on the yacht, and he shot me.
That's nice.
Now, George, you listen to me. Your name is George W. Tracy. The W stands for Wellington. You live at 231 Avenue Kleber in Paris. Your telephone number is Balzac 4889. You have a mole on your left shoulder blade.
Look, sister, I don't know what the gag is, but I've had a very rough day, right?
In 1950, we wrote a picture together based on an original story. You sold the studio. We had a secretary named Shirley something, lived on Fountain Avenue, and neither of us knew the other was making out with her until we bumped into each other on the stairs one rainy Sunday afternoon. Right?
Who put you up to this? Was it Crafty?
Your bank in Paris is the first National City branch in the Place Vendôme. 2 years ago, you cashed a check for me for $1,000. It bounced, but I made it good when I got lucky at the Cannes Film Festival. I gave you the money in chips, right? And that same weekend, you nearly drowned when my surfboard hit you in the head, right? Now, doesn't that prove I'm Charlie?
All it proves is that you knew Charlie and he told you all these things.
Oh, I am Charlie, you stubborn bonehead! What about the time you took that producer's girlfriend, the redhead, to Tijuana for the bullfights, but you got stuck there because it turned out she wasn't an American citizen and didn't have a re-entry permit?
I get it. You're one of Charlie's girls, and he promised to marry you or borrowed money from you. Well, you're wasting your time because he's not going to marry you or pay back the dough because he's dead. D-E-A-D. You could stay the night, have a hot breakfast, and out.
Okay, George. I didn't want to hurt you, but you're asking for it. Last Christmas, just 3 months ago, you were in San Moritz with a model from Harper's, Elsa Underwood. You were crazy about her. You even talked of getting married. But she got a telegram from Dick Avedon and had to rush back to Paris for retakes.
Dick Avedon, my foot. That telegram was a phony. She came back to meet some guy, and they were shacked up in some hotel.
The Ritz, George, in a suite overlooking the Place Vendôme. It was me, George. I'm sorry.
You dirty rat. I should have known.
She was no good, George.
And my good friend Charlie Sorrell's got to be the one to prove it to me, right?
Yeah, you were getting serious
You
about her. I couldn't let you. I did it for you, George.
Me?
My word of honor.
Ah, Charlie Sorrell's word of honor.
You could have been badly hurt, George, and I didn't want
That's
to
enough,
stand
Charlie.
by and watch-
Drop it.
You know who I am now. Don't you, George? Now you know why I was screaming. What kind of a weird setup is this? What's going on? George, what am I gonna do? George? George! George!
It's the Old Testament speaking. The master plan. An eye for an eye. A tooth for a tooth.
Cut it out, George. You're scaring the hell out of me.
But there's a grandeur about it that's staggering. All your life, you've taken advantage of women. You've been the wolf, let loose on the Assyrian fold. And now, the punishment has been created. Custom tailored, in fact, to fit the crime. The tables have been turned, Charlie. Instead of pitching, you are the catcher.
What a horrible thought. It's as though I'd been a gourmet all my life, and now suddenly I'm a lamb chop. George, do you realize I hit you with my left?
Huh? You did? Oh, yeah, it's okay, Charlie.
Canada, George, that was my left. My famous left hook. You always said it was lethal. You should have gone down like a sack of oatmeal.
Yeah.
Nothing. No, this is too much. I won't stand for it.
Charlie.
Maybe I haven't been to West Coast, Dr. Schweitzer.
No, Charlie.
Maybe I do deserve
Charlie,
some kind of a
that's okay.
payoff.
We're going to work this out together. We're going to work this out together, Charlie. Now relax.
Yeah.
Stay calm.
Okay.
I'll get you a drink. Now just be calm.
Yeah,
I'll get
yeah.
you.
Are you waiting for Mr. Tracy?
Yes, ma'am. I drove him out, and I'm waiting to take him to the airport.
Hi. Nightcap, George?
No thanks.
Hollywood parties. You're right about one thing, George. We should have stood home.
Oh, I don't know. Some of it was interesting.
Touché. Really going?
Mm-hmm. I'm taking a midnight flight to New York City and then a noon flight tomorrow for Paris.
Got a match, George? Look, George. The 10 grand I got from the girls. Up in smoke. George, please. How sorry can I get?
You don't need me, Charlie.
I do. Oh, George, will you give me a chance? I was a fink and a hustler for 36 years, and now suddenly I'm an ingenue. But this is only my first day. I don't know how to handle it. So I reverted to type and I did something lousy. I know it. I admit it.
Okay, Charlie. I guess it was only natural.
George, if you go, I'll panic.
Not you, Charlie, not you.
I'm not Charlie. I'm whatever this is. A throwback, a werewolf, something from the deep lagoon. And I'm scared. I'm scared, George. But at least this way, with us, I can talk to you. But alone, I'll fly apart.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not that. There.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
No, look at me. I hate girls that cry.
All right, now. You cry it out. Feel better.
Oh, I'll be a good girl.
Of course.
I promise.
I know.
No, I won't do anything bad. No, I'll get a job as a waitress or a maid.
Now, don't worry. Huh? I'm here. I'll take care of you.
Oh, George. Oh, thank you.
Feel better? Huh?
I'd like to blow my nose.
No, I'll do it. You see? Now everything's going to be all right.
What's the matter?
Matter? We were practically necking.
It was nice.
You and me, that's nice.
I felt so secure. Wanted.
Wanted?
Well, I can't help it if I'm feminine, can I? I need affection. I don't know what's gotten into you, George. You're always getting hung up on small, helpless girls. Well, here I am. No, George, you promised.
I promised and I'll stay, but not here.
Oh.
I'm gonna get a room down at the motel down the road, and we'll talk about it in the morning. Don't bother seeing me out. I got a cab waiting. Goodbye, Charlie.